Okay, so this video goes out to folks that's trying to quit smoking cigarettes and don't know how to stay off. Okay, I'm gonna just go through some things that I did to help me quit. Although my counselor disagreed with it once I did tell her, it was one of the things she didn't like, and which was I brought some peppermint oil from the health food store, and I rubbed it on the tip of my fingers, and I put it up to my lips, and I inhaled in, and it just hit me all in my throat, and it felt just like I was smoking a Newport. You know, if you take some peppermint oil, just to, you put it on your middle finger, your index finger, and your thumb, like that. Put your fingers up to your lips though, and you'll feel that hit right here, because that's what you miss. You miss that hit in your throat when you quit smoking cigarettes. And another thing I did was I burned, like, the expensive kind of incense, because I'm allergic to those old kind of incense. you know and or you can buy sage and chocolate. See, one thing about your body, it doesn't know the difference from a cigarette and chocolate. It beats you to tell them on yourself. And you're not supposed to tell on yourself. I mean, you're supposed to tell the truth if somebody asks you, but only, if it's dealing with the law or somebody but you can lie to a stranger. You don't have to tell us truth to a stranger. Okay? So that chocolate, once it got in my system, oh my God, it was just like I had a real life cigarette. But each morning when I woke up, I used to just wake up and sit in the bed and breathe in and out, do that 10 times, before I got out of bed and started my day. I also got myself in counseling. I went, and got the tobacco counseling. After 3 months, my mother said, Liza, ain't no use for you going to that tobacco class and and still be smoking. And it made a lot of sense. And then my brother, my oldest brother, my mother's second son, told me that I could do it. So those positive affirmations help too. And then my counselor told me to develop a mantra, something I could repeat to myself. So what I would do is I would hit my left thigh 3 times, 1, 2, 3, to like get rid of my childhood and say, all that glitters isn't gold. I am healthy. I am whole. So because whenever I smelled somebody else's cigarette, it was like I was hypnotized. So, I'd be out in public and I would literally have to hit my left thigh 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I wouldn't say it out loud, but I would say it in my head, all that glitters isn't gold. I am healthy, I am whole. Then, I would 2, 3, okay. So it's a lot. But if you practice those steps, I can tell you I fought demons, man, because everything you do, this world is so spiritual. Everything you do, it's like you know, um everything carries spirits. And it was awful. Okay, for instance, I was at church and I wanted to run when I had this vision while I was sitting in church. But where I'm going to go? I'm in the safest place in the whole wide world to be, so I couldn't run. I'm sitting there in church and this girl in front of me, she kept looking back at me. And I said, why she keep looking back at me? And she just kept, like this, like this. And I couldn't understand why. So I said, you know what? It'd be funny if her head fall off. Her head and my mind actually fell off. And she grew another head right in front of me. So I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I want to run out of church, because like my mind, it was still on that tobacco and the chemicals was like just clearing. It's like a light bulbs was going off in my head, light bulbs that was shut down. And like I said, I went cold turkey. But when I realized the chocolate helped, then it was cool. Then you can do caffeine, and stuff, but you don't want to go cold turkey. I could have killed myself. So next thing I know, I see God's hand, and it's like he drew a curtain and just went shh. It's like a paper. You know how you just snatch a paper off the wall and go shh. Now it's like that. It's like it just crinkled right in front of. Nobody could see it but me. And then I looked down to the floor and I just could see a cat looking up at me, but the cat wasn't there, and then the cat just, you know what I'm saying? So the chemical, the tobacco, it really had me going, and I'm glad to say that was the very last episode that I had, that with my mind being all jacked up. Now the first one, I needed to get a tire for my car, and I wanted to smoke really bad. So I didn't, but I kept seeing all these liquor stores in the hood. That's what made me want to smoke even more. But every block, it was a liquor store. So I get to, the auto mechanic place, and I sit down, and I say to myself, because no one else is in there, whew, I'm so glad I didn't have a cigarette. Next thing I know, I hear this voice. It sounded like a slithering snake. And it said, and you better never come back. Just like that. It wasn't nobody in the room except for me. And I was like, oh my God, and then it reminded me of that song with Michael Jackson. They told you not to come around here. You know what I'm saying? So that was the very, very first episode that I had. The second episode that I had, I got hit again with a craving, but I knew what to do. Go buy some chocolate, a chocolate Hershey bar. I went and got the chocolate Hershey bar. I said, I'm not going to eat this sucker until I get inside. So I'm standing in the corner, and I'm feeling something hitting my chest. I couldn't see what it was, but it was just hitting me. Bam, 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 just kept hitting me. And then I heard a voice said, I miss you. And then it dawned on me that the enemy couldn't get back in. He was locked out. And I'm telling you, people, I'm not making this up. I was raised in a church. By the time I was 12 years old, I had only missed 2 Sundays my whole life. My mother dragged us in the church all through the week. I was brought up in the church, So it's like I can see and sense things because these seeds have been planted in me. It's like when I go to read something, I'm like, how did I know this? And then it take me back to when I was little, when I was in church, and I would just be like, well, why did the pastor, why he keep dwelling on this one word, right? So that same one word can define the whole verse, So I got these seeds that's planted in me. When you're young, you don't know. Person only meditate on the bad times, but according to God's law, it's wrong to meditate on God's, on the bad. You want to meditate on the good. You know what I mean? That's just what love means. But this stuff, I'm not making it up. Some of the physical effects that I had as well was that, oh my God, I'm in there cooking. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to check on my food. So let me turn this off. Yeah, anyway, here goes. I woke up in the morning, right? And I felt something moving under the covers, but it wasn't nothing near, but I didn't know that. And it was just moving. I thought it was rats. I thought it was, well, we didn't have rats, and, so I threw the cover off me. I looked, and it was my circulation. I could actually feel the blood moving in my veins, And like I said, when I first quit, had these cravings. So I used to walk to the corner liquor store just to buy a little candy because my taste buds came back. And when I'm telling you, my taste buds came back, woo! That's how I gained that 10 pounds. So I smelled a rose. It smelled so good. But guess what? The Rose was 3 houses away. And guess what? It was only one Rose. My senses came back with a vengeance, you know. And so, that was just one of the other things. But one of the other things, I learned in tobacco class, the cigarettes, they last 5 minutes, but they take 15 minutes out of your life. That's unfair. You only give me 15 minutes of you, and I'm giving you 15 minutes. I mean, you only give me 5 minutes of you, and I'm giving you 15 minutes of me. That's not fair. So, but, having like the counseling, and being counseling, that it's all about the money, and one thing about that lifestyle is like you get thrown away like trash because they looking for someone that's young that's gonna keep the money going. This is like some men get a woman every year. The same thing with the tobacco industry. The older you get, they don't want you no more. So that lifestyle is not a lifestyle where you can stay. Like I said, I tried to go back after my mom passed. And I held on as long as I could for 2 years after she passed. And then I smoked that one cigar, tobacco. And it lasted me 2 days. But after that 2 days, I'm telling you, when I drank that little apple cider vinegar in the morning, I fell out on the couch. And I was so dizzy. I didn't know. I was like, Lord, I can't even go back. It's like you can't go back once you get out. And I'm trying to think of some other stuff that I could say. But you have to use these techniques. You have to use your mantra. You have to, you have to know who to run to, and buy you a fresh bottle of perfume or a cologne when you quit, and be like, this is what I want to smell like, and then don't trade that smell for nothing, and conditioner, all that. That was one of the things I did. About a bottle of perfume, my mom passed. But I quit when I quit smoking, but I quit smoking way back in 2002, so, yeah, that's just some of the stuff. But try that peppermint. It works. Then my counselor, she was like against it. But if it work, it work. And it ain't going to hurt you. She's like, well, let me tell you something else that happened. And then this would be the last story because it's already been 13 minutes already. Okay, now I have a relative that smokes cigarettes like a chimney, okay? And she promised me that once I come out and take care of her for a little while because she had a foot problem, that she would not smoke up in the house. I told her, I said, well, you can go in the garage to smoke, but hey, she the one brought it up, not me, because they trained us in tobacco class that we can't go to folks' house telling them that they can't smoke. So it was her. I paid my own way and the ticket was $79 round trip. I get out there and she promised me that she wouldn't smoke in the house, so she would smoke while I was asleep. So one day I woke up and I caught her. I said, you promised that you wouldn't smoke in the house. She's like, oh, yeah, I did. So then I caught her again. And then this time she was just like, she didn't give a F. Oh, excuse me, Jesus. She didn't care. She was letting know that it was her house. She want to do what she wanted to do, And then I was like, oh my God, it was her idea. She the one brought it up that she wouldn't smoke, I could have took it if she said that, I still got to have my cigarette, but please come see after me because my counselor trained us, Okay. So I said, you know what? Just drive me back to the train station. She drove me to the train station, and do you know she had those kind of windows, electric, and she rolled the window up and lit a cigarette, and I couldn't roll it down, and the whole car was all smoked with cigarettes. I get to the train station, I got home, I went to sleep. I started waking up and I couldn't breathe when I woke up. And I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I couldn't breathe because she had been smoking in my sleep. I was like, I went to the doctor. He gave me some pills. They was like, they don't even make them pills no more. But he gave me some pills and I took them too. There was a little orange pill, little round orange pill, because I didn't know what was going on with me. So I lie down in bed, and one morning I woke up and I could feel something on me, on my back. And then all of a sudden, it like took its arm out of my arm, and I heard static electricity sound. As God is my witness by the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. That thing, it took its arm out of my arm. I was lying on my side. It took its arm out of my arm. It took his head out of my head. And all the while I'm hearing electricity. And I could feel it. It lifted. And then it went, whoa. The bed behind me fell. Because I was laying on my left side. And I said, oh my God, somebody done broke into my apartment while I was asleep. And they in the bed with me now. I turned around. There wasn't nobody there. So I got to my counselor. And I told my counselor. And she said, you know what? Her energy followed you home. And I said, oh my God, can it get back and get to her? Can it get to her? Because I was worried about her. My counselor told me it never left her. So, everything you do, you dealing with a spirit. You know what I mean? And I thank God, by the grace of God, that I'm still here. Because a lot of people in tobacco class, they didn't even make it. But I don't want to overwhelm you. You know what I mean? With that, I'm just telling you what I went through. And I would not make something like this up. What? So I can be like institutionalized. Look, there's that crazy lady. No, it's just that I was brought up in the church. And these seeds are already planted in me to pick up these vibration in the other side that an ordinary person is not going to pick up. You know what I mean? And I'm going to let you go now, but try getting counseling. You don't have to do all that other stuff, because I tried the nicotine gum. It didn't work. I didn't do the patch because they was like, I was told that some people have heart attacks from it. I just, when I got used to, how to, deal with it, I used the chocolate. You can even use coffee. And then, do your breathing exercise, and you can even do your breathing exercise whenever commercial come on TV. And that's 2 minutes. It's like if you're watching a show that lasts for an hour, each commercial, do a breathing exercise, in and out, like that. And then again, you can, when you're in public and you smell somebody else smoke, because that smell is so addictive. But after a while, you'll get over that smell. After a while, the smell is going to be like stank. You just tap your left thigh with your left hand. 1, 2, 3. That's like, hey, that's in my childhood. I'm a grown adult now. All that glitters isn't gold. I am healthy. I am whole. Now, that was my mantra. But once you quit, you got to make up your own mantra. Okay? You can use mine, but it won't be the same. You got to pick out the words that work for you. I'm going to go and let you go. And this has been my experience dealing with the other side when it comes to tobacco. Y'all have a great one. Good night.